Hey gang, JC here, and this is your daily dose for Tuesday, July 27th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives top of the page, Dave Murray's weather forecast down in the corner. You can subscribe to the audio of the Daily Dose on iTunes. We're on a 15-month paid vacation. Here we go. Got a lot to do today, and I think St. Louis is doing it all wrong. You know, we're always trying to push this idea of a family-friendly environment, neighborhoods that are nice. I think we're doing it all wrong. I think we should take advantage of all the crime and violence we have in this community. Hell, go up against other cities. Compton, you think you're tough? Detroit, you think you got a tough city? Your town has murders and carjackings and home invasions, oh yeah? Come on to St. Louis. We shoot our lifeguards. Albert on Dave last night. Hey, I thought he was great. He didn't do anything stupid, didn't say anything dumb, didn't spend a lot of time talking about God. And I also think it was probably the longest period I've ever seen Albert in a good mood. Nice job, Albert, on Dave last night. All right, we might not know who our quarterback is going to be in a couple of weeks. We might not have any receivers for him to throw to, and we may have only won like 3 games in the last 10 years. But God damn it, we got our new St. Louis Rams mascot, Rampage. Start printing Super Bowl tickets. And by the way, T.O. isn't coming. Rennie Knott. I don't know what to say. I've said this many times. He's the nicest, charmingest guy you'd ever want to meet. Charmingest? Yeah, I made up a word. Sarah Palin can do it. I can do it. Refudiate. Anyhow, Rennie's a nice guy, but I'm afraid the poor guy just doesn't know what he's doing. He's mispronounced every major sports celebrity's name I can think of, and now I'm watching the other night, and he's doing that 1-hour special on the induction of Whitey Herzog, and he's up there in Cooperstown, and he talks about a little slice of Americana. Like, you know, you mean Americana? But that's not the one that got my attention. Not once, but twice. In talking about the archives and stuff, he said they have a library. A library. You know, Ava Ehrlich was one of my mentors over there at Channel 5, I think the world over. Mike Shipley, news director, great guy. And I've met the general manager, Lynn Beal, a couple of times. Are things that bad over there that when somebody makes a series of egregious mistakes that you just let it go? You just pass on it? Is that how bad things have gotten? Privacy advocates are protesting Walmart's plan to put electronic tracking tags in clothing. Look, if you want to know where the Walmart customers are after they leave the store, Krispy Kreme down the street. Remember the new cars? The new cars. Yes, Todd Rundgren came along with a couple of the guys from the band. Rick Ocasek was not interested. So they went out as the new cars. And after about a year, they looked at each other and said, you know, people hate us. So that all broke up. And of course, Benjamin Orr, he died in 2000. He was the lead singer on a couple of the Cars songs, including Drive. Well, guess what? Rick Ocasek might be back in. And by the way, it is Ocasek. If you hear somebody say Ocasek, walk up to him and say, you're wrong, it's Ocasek. Anyhow, looks like it's going to be a reunion of everybody who's still alive. And by the way, he's been married to Paulina Porizkova, former supermodel, for, it's got to be like 30 years now. And we had her on the show once or twice, and she was a riot. So the other day, they show her a picture of Heidi Montag. Now, Paulina is a big advocate of women not getting plastic surgery and just sort of aging gracefully. And she's done it too. You know, when I looked at her in this story, she probably didn't look as good as she could have if she had had some work done. But that's okay. This is what she believes in. That's fabulous. So they show her this picture of Heidi Montag, and you know the picture I'm talking about, after she had all it was like 19 plastic surgeries. And Paulina says, yeah, she looks like a pool float. Hey! Give her a show, not one of those stupid reality shows either. Give Paulina a show. She's funny. All right, speaking of shows, if you watch Mad Men with John Hamm from St. Louis and Christina Hendricks from Heaven, if you watch Mad Men, there's a good chance you're loaded. Nielsen Media says the show has the wealthiest viewers of any show on cable. Almost half of the viewers make over $100,000 a year. By the way, speaking of a St. Louis connection, Kevin Kline will be on the Colbert Report tonight. All right, we told you we had a couple of stories to throw your way, and one of them is very disturbing. Because I'm telling you, I just don't put anything in my mouth. And if something, even if I've bought it and I look at it and it doesn't look right, I toss it. I don't care if I lose the money. ESPN.com just released a health inspection report on some of the biggest ballparks in Major League Baseball. And here are the highlights. Coors Field where the Rockies play. Employees were storing cheese and sour cream at 52 degrees. It's a little warm. Sun Life Stadium, Dolphins and Marlins play there. Frozen alcoholic drinks were blended without cleaning the insects and the dirt out of the blender first. Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis Colts, mouse droppings, live mice, dead mice. TD Garden, Boston Celtics and Bruins play there. Potentially toxic dishwashing chemicals stored above the ice machine. Think about it. Ain't good. Madison Square Garden, one food stand had 53 mouse droppings, including 15 on top of the soda machine. And Great American Ballpark, where the Cincinnati Reds play, an inspector watched an employee scrape food off a spatula using the edge of a garbage can, and then you guessed it, went right back to using the spatula. All right, the fine folks at AskMen.com have put together a list of the things that men should not do after they turn 30. Like this whole piece could be just called grow up. Eating fast food. Yeah, you turn 30 and that you start feeling the effects of that. Driving recklessly. When you're a kid, you can do it. Playing video games all day. Do we have to explain that one? Number 7, living in a dorm room. Well, not literally, but if your apartment or your house looks like a dorm room with just empty pizza boxes all over the place and dirty socks. Getting a tattoo. Yeah, well, when you're young, that's one thing, and you're 40 and you're getting tattoos. What's that all about? Number 5, binge drinking. Again, you can do it when you're 22, but when you're 35, maybe you got a problem. Number 4, living paycheck to paycheck. Well, yeah, that's, again, charming when you're little, but at some point you're going to pick up a wife and kids. Working a dead-end job. Don't I know it? Number 2, knowing nothing about politics. You're an adult. Learn something about the world. And number 1, dressing like a slob. Again, it's charming when you're 22, and when you're 38, it's just scary. All right, today is Celebrity Tuesday, as it is every Tuesday here at jc'sdailydose.com. Today we're going to talk about Denzel Washington. And in all cases, I try to focus on somebody that I actually spent some time with and got to know a little bit. And I've interviewed Denzel 3 different times: Courage Under Fire, The Preacher's Wife, and Fallen, which co-starred John Goodman. This is a smart, handsome, funny guy who is just full of the devil. And I mean that in a good way. He's not a boring guy. I mean, he's very playful, likes to fool around a little bit. Now, if you start him off serious, he'll talk serious. But he always seems to sort of spin around and come back and try to get silly again, maybe crack you up a little bit. He'll laugh at a good joke, loves to talk about sports. You get the idea that this guy is the real deal. Every once in a while, I would come out of an interview in New York and California where most of these things took place, and you'd walk out of an interview with like a John Travolta or Dustin Hoffman, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, George Clooney, and you walk out and you go, well, you know what? Now that's a movie star. And that certainly applied to Denzel Washington. You know, he had a son who was on the Rams taxi squad for a couple of years there, and a lot of people in St. Louis will tell you about a very pleasant encounter or a picture they had with Denzel Washington when he was here in town. And when he smiles, I mean, he's got a very, very charming and disarming smile. The man smiles. The guy is the real deal, I think, the world of Denzel Washington, and I'll see anything he's in. All right, JC's Wayback Machine this week. Craig Hawksley, local comedian. You've probably seen him open for, oh gosh, almost anybody out at the Westport Funny Bone, places like that. Well, you go back to 1986 and he was doing his Mike Shannon impersonation on a placky Toyota commercial. You'll see that on the Wayback Machine. JC's Video Village, a 1986 3-part series that was done on local radio by a reporter at Channel 2 by the name of Catherine Bliss. Oh, the stories I could tell you about Catherine. It's a unintentionally funny 3-part series that's on JC's Video Village. Not necessarily the news this week. John Jay and Brendan Ryan. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. There's a movie coming out next year that features a cat fight between 2 of the biggest 1980s pop music tarts, Debbie Gibson and Tiffany. It's a damn good cat fight, and we have that for you today on JC's Eye Candy. All right, come back tomorrow. There's a new survey. What percentage of men would change the size of their junk if they could? And also other results of the Great Male Survey of 2010. That's it. Your Daily Dose for Tuesday, July 27th, 2010. I'm JC. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.